This is SevereMMA, and we're here at SBG Mainline Manchester with the SBG Tribe's newest signing, I think. And it's been a long time. I don't mean to age you, but we're with dangerous Davey Grant. You haven't been able to compete since late 2013, and I'd like to go a little bit before that, just to start with. And you know, people will remember you from The Ultimate Fighter as,
hopefully,
well, as a no-nonsense, balls to the walls, and going to finish fighter. Did that experience at all even remotely prepare you for the kind of time off that you had to take? Was there, you know, because some people say you got to be quite mentally strong to make that house. Is there any of that kind of helped you through the last 24 months?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think there's anything that could have helped me through that. It really has been a horrible time for me and my family. I mean, we've coped, but it's just so hard. You know, you try your hardest to get somewhere like in the Ultimate Fighter and into the UFC. And I finally got there and obviously got beat in the final, which was hard enough to take anyway. So the first thing you want to do is get in the cage and put things right. And I just haven't been able to do that since then. So it's been so mentally challenging. But all in all, I think it's been for the best. I think it's been a blessing in disguise. I feel like I've matured as a fighter. I feel like I'm on a different level skill-wise. And I think I'm going to take the positives from it.
Look, I'm going to ask because no matter what happened recently, she's still as relevant now as she's ever. You got to train with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
You know, as a fan, you look at someone like Ronda and you think, well, there's no way I'll ever get. You know, I'll never get to really know her. I'll get what the media. I have to ask because you've been there. You know. Is she as special as you know?
Yeah, definitely. Honest, and like Ronda, she's one of my good friends. Do you know what I mean? And she really is every bit as special as what she's been made out to be. And she had a bit of a tough run last fight. That's fighting. You know, it's very rare that you'll get someone goes unbeaten in this sport. Sometimes people have a good day, sometimes people have a bad day, and that's how easy it can turn. And I'm sure she'll bounce back stronger than ever.
Was there anything, you know, because she was your coach, was there any pearl of wisdom, any, you know, little thing that she might have said or done that truly stayed with you?
I mean, there was a lot of things she says. A lot of it comes from her mum, actually. That she says a lot of things, she calls them momisms, and she says a lot of different things and just little ways to put things in perspective, and it really makes you like switch it on, fight day and things like that. So yeah, there was a lot of things I took away from it.
We're going to fast forward a little bit to Roland Delorme.
Yeah.
You know, London, you're going to fight at home. Roland was, you know, a really credible opponent. He had some good wins under his belt. You put yourself through hell for a weigh-in. Did you know before you cut that weight that in most probability the knee wasn't going to let you go?
No, I mean I injured my knee on the Tuesday when I first got to the hotel. All we were doing, it was just routine pads. I was just kicking some pads in the warm-up room or like the training room, what the UFC give you. And I just felt my knee popping a few times, and I thought, it's a bit funny that. I was just about to do some treadmill work, and I thought, I better leave this. My knee feels a little bit funny. So I told my coach, I said, I'm just going to go back to the room instead of going for a little jog on the treadmill. My knee feels a bit weird. And I was in the lift on my own, and all I did was like turn to press the buttons on the lift, and then my knee just blew. And I was like in agony, and I had to hobble my way back to my room, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, oh no, this has happened. And then it went back into place, and it was like, oh, it's going to be all right. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it was just a little mishap. Do you know what I mean? But then it happened again, and then it happened again, and then every now and again. See, I thought it was all right, and then it would just blow out. It was a weird injury because, like, with it being a meniscus tear, as soon as I turned the wrong way, the meniscus would flap over. This is what the surgeon would tell me anyway. And then I was in agony for a few seconds, then it would go back into place, and then I could move around like normal as if I wasn't hurt. So that's how I was able to hide it from everyone. And then I think when I started cutting weight, I think the dehydration obviously came into play, and I literally couldn't take a few steps without the meniscus tearing. And my idea all the week was to fight. It was the biggest chance I'd ever had to fight in London on a UFC card. Was always been my dream come true, and I felt like it was a great fight for me. The Ronda Rousey, obviously a credible opponent. I was really looking forward to performing, so I was never pulling out. And then it just got to the point where my knee kept on going, and I thought, after I'd already made weight, we said, with me and my coach at the time, thought, look, we're going to have to tell the UFC what's going on. So we told them, I said, I think I'll be okay to fight. I just need to know what the restrictions are on strapping. I need to strap my knee up because it keeps blowing out and stuff. But I said, I'll be all right. We'll just need to get into the fight, and if I can put some strapping on, I should be okay. And they were like, right, okay, then you're allowed to tape it up and then have a neoprene sleeve and stuff like that. I was like, right, cool. And they said, but after the weigh-ins, you're going to have to go for a scan. And I was like, right, okay, then I thought, we'll go for the scan. But as far as I was concerned, my knee was all right until it was twisted in the wrong way. And if I was sat on the scan table getting an MRI, I was thinking it's going to be in a position. It's probably not going to show anything up. Honestly, I was thinking, do I really want it to show anything up? I was thinking, God, do I need to be fighting like this? I don't want to have to get one kick in my leg and then crumble. Do you know what I mean? But I was thinking, look, I'm not pulling out. I've got to take this fight. And then, fortunately enough, I look at it as a good thing now that the scan showed up that, look, and they said, no, you can't fight. So it's probably been, again, a blessing in disguise, I think. Yeah. It was a weird situation. It was a horrible weight cut, and it was devastation not to be able to fight that night.
The simple fact that you showed up on the scales, on weight, on point, I think it probably says something about how important that fight was to you.
Definitely, yeah.
Did you suspect that you'd have to wait 27 months?
Oh, no. Not at all.
How long were you expecting to be out for?
I mean, I was expecting to be out till maybe the summer. This was in, I think it was March. March the 3rd, I think it was. And I think I got surgery on something like March the 7th or March the 9th. And I knew it was like 6 weeks, sort of just doing hardly anything. I was weight bearing the full time, so it wasn't too bad. And I was like hobbling myself to the gym and lifting weights and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I was thinking I'll probably be back somewhere around the late summer. And then I just got back in full training, and then ended up getting another injury, which was twice as worse as the one before. So that kept me out again, and then I got that injury actually healed, or I thought it had healed, and then I got another fight booked up for Sweden in the January, like nearly a year later from the London fight. And then just as I was starting to prepare for that, it turns out that I had to go and get another surgery. So then, that kept us out till the summer again.
You say that smiling now.
Yeah.
But was there a point at which you were thinking, maybe I just can't do that? Did you?
No. I always, it was like, a lot of people would say, be like, look, do you think you'll ever fight again? It was like, look, I didn't try my entire fighting career to get somewhere and then to quit just because of a couple of injuries. Do you know what I mean? There was never a doubt in my mind that I was going to return to the UFC and better than ever. Do you know what I mean? That's always been in my mind, and never once have I thought, maybe I'll just going to call it a day. It's like I tried so hard to get there, and now I really want to go and make me mark, and I feel like I'm better than ever. So it could have been, really could have been a blessing in disguise, and things happen, and I'm not just going to quit off little bumps in the road. I'm a fighter, and that's what I do. That's what I know how to do.
It's amazing how you describe it as a little bump, you just got
to overcome these things.
That's a mountain to crash through,
I mean, everyone's got problems. This was just one of mine. And I had full confidence that I was going to return back better.
Now you got 8 weeks.
Yeah.
With that goal in sight now, I imagine you never lost your motivation. You couldn't have. But now that goalpost is there, I mean, it's clear. How does it feel? Like,
honestly, it's just been such an uplift. It's like I finally feel like my life's got purpose again. Do you know what I mean? I've literally been walking around with a smile on my face constantly because I've got something to work towards. I feel like I'm improving every day, getting sharper, getting fitter, getting lighter, and I just really can't wait to go and showcase my skills.
You look now, you've got Vera standing across from you. You are probably, it's been 2 years removed, but you're probably one of the most dynamic fighters the UK have produced in terms of looking for the win, constantly going forward. Has anything changed in kind of how you approach a fight now?
I mean, to be honest, that's the way I fight. I always look for the win. I'm not looking to squeeze out decisions. I'm not looking for easy fights. That's just not the way I am. I'm a fighter, and I'm coming in there to hurt you. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, preparation's going to be, obviously I'm training at a new gym now down SPG, putting a lot of time into there, and I feel like they just adapted my whole game set, you know what I mean?
I think there are some people that are going to hear SBG and immediately they're going to think John Kavanagh, Conor McGregor. But, SBG has, internationally renowned coaches all over the place.
Yeah.
It's Carl Tanswell that you've come to work with.
Yeah.
What is he bringing to your game?
I mean, to be honest, he's just improving me all over. And, I've known Carl for a lot of years. I've always sort of been affiliated and come down. And we've done a lot of work together before, and then I've always sort of come back and forward. I know a lot of the guys in the gym now. I've changed up my training, and as much as I still train with the guys back in NEVT up home, which are all brilliant guys, and I get on with them really well. We were just lacking the main coach who was going to stand on the sidelines and just coach. Rather, some of the guys were all helping him, we were all coaching each other and stuff, which was a great setup as well. But I feel like I needed that little bit of extra coaching, and I feel like Carl Tanswell is ahead of the game. And the stuff that I've been learning off him is unreal, and I'm going home buzzing off it, writing it all down in my little jotter, drilling it with people back home, and I think it can really improve my game, and obviously I'm out there to be the best in the world, and I think I can help me achieve that.
We'll talk about the fight in a second. One more thing I want, sometimes the UFC they get some good press, they get some bad press for how they deal with getting rid of fighters and keeping fighters and blah 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 blah. It seems to me that they've shown a lot of patience, but also a lot of faith in what you bring to the table. Was there any? Have they been in touch? Were they in contact, or how did that work?
Yeah, obviously I was scared they were going to lose patience with me. It's obviously been a really hard time, and but the UFC has been brilliant with it. And Sean Shelby's been in constant contact, get injury updates, asking us how I'm feeling, when I want to return, and everything, and then they paid for the surgeries, got me all the aftercare, and I really can't thank the UFC enough for everything they've done for us. They've done brilliant for me.
See, that's awesome, because again, I suppose it's easy to see UFC let so and so go, and they have to protect the business.
It's a business at the end of the day, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's not something they had to do. They didn't. Did they have to look after you for the last 2.5 years?
No, I mean it's sort of it's up to them, isn't it?
Awesome.
But it's obviously in their best interest to get their fighters healthy. If I'm not fighting, I'm not making them any money. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But the way they've been with me and the support they've shown me has been really nice, and I really thank them for it.
So let's talk about the opponent then. You've got the Ecuadorian coming in.
Yeah.
I think coming off a tough appearance over South America.
Yeah, the Latin American.
So there's some similarities there. He hasn't had to have the enforced layoff. Is this the perfect opponent? Could you have picked a better opponent, or is this really exciting for you?
Yeah, it's a brilliant opponent for me. I've watched a few of his fights. He's an exciting fighter. He's going to come at me, and that's what I want. I want to be getting in these good, exciting fights. I've got to get my name back out there. People are going to have forgotten why I even am. You know what I mean? He's on a nice little roll at the minute.
Yeah.
And any fight is going to be a credible fight in the UFC. This one I think is a brilliant fight for me, and I think it's going to be a brilliant fight for the fans. I've been watching some of his stuff, and he's good in all areas, and it's exactly what I want.
Well, what's the perfect scenario for you? And again, I've asked this question already today, and I always feel silly doing it. But I presume a 30-second knockout would be sweet. But can you afford to want some cage time?
Look, I will take anything as long as it's a win. Do you know what I mean? If it comes in 30 seconds, if it comes in 3 minutes, it doesn't matter. As long as I go and get that win, I'm really not fussed. If I get the cage time, then that's brilliant. The experience, the time back in there. But as long as I go out and get the win, I'm really not bothered how it comes. When
you close your eyes and you visualize it, what does the perfect performance look like?
Look, I just need to go out there, showcase my skills. I feel like I'm going to be the best I've ever been. And I just need to go out there and get people saying, fucking hell, that Davey Grant, so sorry for swearing. Nice. But yeah, fucking hell, yeah, he's back, and he's back with a bang, and that's my whole goal.
Is it a comeback, or have you never really been away with the training and?
Yeah, look, I've had, it's been 24 months off with various injuries, but there's never been any days or when I haven't been on it, thinking about it mentally, or even I've been going to the gym, I've been on crutches, still in the gym, pumping weights and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if I've had this time off and as if I've just been relaxing. Do you know what I mean? This is my life. I'm a fighter, That's my trade, and everything I've been doing to sitting at home with hand grips, improving my grip, watching the telly when I couldn't do anything else. You know, I really have. I mean, not only do I not cut corners, I make corners. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's all going to show, and it's all just added to my overall game.
I'm going to ask you to, play psychic. I come back, and we come back to Manchester in 18 months' time.
Yeah.
What's the progress? What's happened with Dangerous Davey Grant's career? How many fights?
I mean, hopefully, I'd love to go and get 3 or 4 in next year. That would be perfect. Obviously, I've had a lot of time out. I've got a lot of time to make up for. I'll be gunning for them wins, guaranteed. I mean, obviously, I'm always going to go out there to win, but I really feel like I'm going to have it in my arsenal to really go and make an impact in this next 18 months. And hopefully, 18 months' time, I'll be knocking on the door of the top 10. Definitely. That's my goal. Obviously, goal overall, UFC champion. More short term, I'm going to be trying to break into that top 10, take out some big names, and really, I feel like I'm one of the best bantamweights in the world. And it's just about getting the fights, getting the wins, and showing that to people before we start maybe knocking on the door for the title and stuff like that. But all that's in time to come, and as long as I'm progressing each day, and I'm just going to take one fight at a time.
We'll bring it back to you, and I appreciate the fact that you've taken some time out to chat with us. Can you sum up? Can you put into words what you're going to feel when that cage door closes on the 20th? Is it going to be? I put words in there. Is it going to be zen? Is it going to be heart racing? Is it going to be?
I mean, to be honest, when I get in there, it's time to switch on and focus. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be nothing in my mind but the fight at hand. Do you know what I mean? It's about being calm, focused, and relaxed, but aggressive at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be, look, this is time to work now. It's on.
Last thing, and we go back to the fact that it's a long and forced timeout. There must have been, people and things that kind of help keep you positive, get you going.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about any of them. We've talked about the chain, but who's responsible for keeping that mindset other than yourself and helping you out?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've got 2 beautiful kids and a gorgeous wife now at home. I've had time to go and get married, and I mean, obviously my kids are there, and that's just a reminder every day that I've got 2 little boys that I've got to provide for and give the best life possible. Do you know what I mean? So if that's not motivation, then I don't know what is. And then on top of that, I mean, I've been helped out with sponsorship. And my sponsorship, Jeff Dobson, Marquee Hire and Grant's Gym, I've got to give them a big shout out, because they helped me before I got to the UFC, they helped me when I was at the UFC, all through my injuries, and to help me back to get to this point now. Without them, I really couldn't have survived. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't fight to make money. I couldn't work. I couldn't teach privates to make money, and they helped me out so much that it really wouldn't have been possible without them.